A lot of people wonder what to put for a film project. For example, they may put the name of the project, the character they played, and the production company. Well, it sounds good, but the production company is not as important as the director, and I'll explain why in a second. And it's definitely not important to put the name of the character on the project. If you had a starring role, for example, it's okay to put starring role. So if you're playing, if you were in Romeo and Juliet and you played Romeo, for you to put Romeo, that's nice. In that particular movie, I would know who Romeo is, but you may want to put starring role instead. If you were one of the more minor roles, unless you know Shakespeare well, I may not recognize that character name. That won't mean anything to me. So at that point, you either want to put co-starring or something along those lines. The character name is not really important. The reason the director is so important is, remember that as a casting director, I rarely make the decision of who is cast in a project. It's the director who makes that final choice. So if I'm looking at your resume and I see that you were hired by a director that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, and a tremendous amount of respect for his casting, this is going to give you a big gold star, because I know that one of my favorite directors has cast you in one of his movies, and that is a huge recommendation for me. So to me, the director is very important. Be logical when you come in and the director is listed. If the casting director says, "Oh, I see you worked with so-and-so, how were they?" If it was not a great experience, find something to say that is not, "He was awful, I hated him, he was a total jerk," because you don't want that casting director to come back and go, "Oh, that's my brother, I was just wondering how you liked him." So find a diplomatic way to say it, but it is a door opener, so use that opportunity to to talk to the casting director a little bit more. But remember, don't lie on your resume. I have cast a lot of Westerns where, of course, everybody who comes in to audition for a Western is an expert horse rider. And so I usually hold auditions near stables where I can take people out after the audition and put them on a horse. So it's quite entertaining to see some people who claim to be expert riders getting on the wrong side of the horse. They have no idea what to do, holding on to the horn as they go along. So be honest with what you put on your resume, but also don't be too humble. If there are things that you know how to do, put them on there, because you never know whether or not they're going to be needed. The most important thing is, do not forget to have your headshot and resume with you when you come to an audition, and remember that they need to be stapled back to back, the back of the picture to the back of the resume when you come in. The casting space is not the place to ask for a stapler. In fact, a lot of casting spaces in California now have signs that say, "Yes, we have a stapler. No, you may not borrow it." It's just not the place to do it. You need to be professional and have that ready when you come in. There's also never an excuse to not have your headshot and resume. A lot of times people will say, "Oh, I got a call from my agent and I was at work and I ran over here." Well, if you're an actor and you take this seriously, you should always have headshots and resumes in your car in an envelope so that they can be kept clean. Don't ever think that your agent has to tell you to bring a headshot and resume to an audition. You should automatically know that. Also bring a headshot to a callback. Even though the casting director may have it and they may say, "Thanks, we have the one that you brought in last time," it's still important that you bring one in, because that casting director may have left it at home or may have lost it or whatever. So it would make the casting director look bad if you said, "Oh, I didn't think I needed to bring you one because you had one from last time." Always have a headshot and resume with you. So that's the purpose of a headshot and resume.